Right, so what we have here is a project that has some progress on it. The status line is set at today, and I must apologize, you can see the purple or mauve Gantt bars don't contrast nicely. Okay, so you've got percentage complete on those various tasks, 2020, 12% behind at the progress line, but then you've got a strange situation in that one of the tasks, that is excavation, is at 50%. It's further down. There's our progress line set to today. Now the contrast between the black and the purple is not great, as I said. Apologies for that. Let's put some grid lines in, I think. The grid lines will help us see left to right, etc. But the table I've created does have a couple of special fields. Let's put that in. Firstly, the grid lines, you go to bottom tier column, we put the grid lines in as again, dash grid lines. So there we can see horizontal and vertical. There's the progress. So percentage complete is the one column we put in, and notice we've also put in a couple of other columns. So it's a customized table, and that customized table has, let's just widen those task names, plan value, earned value, actual cost. So between those three, we're going to be working out our SPI and our CPI. But I'm jumping ahead. Let's have a look at a traditional graph on earned value. This is from my manual, so this doesn't represent this particular project. And notice later the colors are actually going to be different in Microsoft Project. But anyway, let's just look at this. So what we've got is the actual cost in there is that dashed line. I think it's deep blue. Then we've got the green line, which is the planned value. All right. And then the earned value, which is BCWP, budgeted cost of work performed. All right. Now, the configuration of those three lines are going to tell us about the health of the project in terms of SPI and CPI. You'll see those arrows on the right, schedule variance, cost variance, cost between earned value and actual cost, schedule variance between earned value and planned value. So that's the way a graph should look. I'm going to show you how to generate a similar, not exact, a similar graph in MS Project. So let's get back to MS Project. The numbers are there, the amount of money spent is there in terms of earned value, planned value, and actual cost. Let's go to visual reports. Admittedly, visual reports only work in 50% of the time, and I know that after having taught MS Project for 35 years. So, the visual reports are launched over there, and we can choose the earned value over time visual report. That's the way it should look. You see the little preview there? But it's not going to look like that. You've got to do a couple of things. And there's generating it in Microsoft Excel. As I said, this only works about 50% of the time. We have data points, so it's actually correct. We've got planned value on the top there, earned value in the middle, and actual cost just below that. No, actual cost in the middle and earned value just below that. But I want to see the spread. We're looking at quarter two, you see. So it's reading off a pivot table. We're going to have to make changes to the pivot table to spread that over weeks. That's just a trick you've got to learn. It obviously depends on the time scale of your particular project. I'm going to take weekly calendar out, and then I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to go to my time hierarchy. There it is, and expand it and drag week and put it in. It looks like we're doing the same thing, but actually we aren't. You can expand it here as well, just to show the different. Once you get the arrows right. Okay, I'm working with any desk here. So there we go, we hit quarter 2 over there, and there's week 1 and week 20 and 21. Go back here, and now we have it. See, now we have the earned value over time report. But what does it mean if red is above green, green is above blue, and blue is below red? What does that all mean in terms of two major metrics, SPI and CPI? Let's go and ask ChatGPT for the answers. All right? Because the colors here are different in my generic graph. Okay, so let's go and ask ChatGPT for the answers. I'll invoke ChatGPT on the bottom, and we'll ask it. It's a pretty poor prompt I put in, but we'll just ask it. I'm going to grab the graph and put it into ChatGPT and say, listen, tell me what this means. Okay, so here's my prompt. Here's ChatGPT, and I'm going to put the prompt in. It's not the greatest of prompts, but it will suffice, and I'll put it in the description as well. I was tempted to record it, but I then thought I'd just type it. In terms of attachment, give me the different scenarios. I'm looking at, SPI low, SPI high, etc. SPI and CPI. Okay, I want to know, I'm just giving it a bit of context, a few constraints about the different color lines and what that means for SPI and CPI. Not a great prompt, but it does work, you'll see. I've pasted the little graphic in there, and let's see what it says. It's thinking, and it explains what the red, the blue, and the green means, and what the different calculations are. I'm not interested in that right now. It's already calculated that for me. But they're the SPI scenarios. That's the schedule performance index. If the blue is below the red, we are behind schedule. If the blue is on top of the red, we are on schedule. And if the blue is above the red, we are ahead of schedule. SPI greater than 1. 1 being the median. CPI scenarios, if it's over budget, the blue is below the green, on budget, on the green, under budget, above the green. CPI greater than 1. Cost performance index. That's pretty cool. Using ChatGPT AI to tell us what the different scenarios are.